I'm sick of International Women's Day. There. I finally said the thing that so many of the women, the incredible women in my community, have been thinking and have been talking about for the last few weeks. And I'm convinced that there's probably a few of you listening to this podcast that may be thinking the same. I'm sick and tired of International Women's Day. And not because I don't believe in what it actually stands for, not of that at all. I ferociously work towards empowering and bettering the lives of women in my community. It's why I do what I do. I'm passionate about helping incredibly smart women, many of which have been made redundant. They've held senior positions, they've suffered from burnout, or they've just gone, is this it? And I ferociously work with them to help them build businesses and life on their terms, where they're not building something that becomes shackles around their ankles or that is negatively impacting their lifestyle. That is why I do what I do, and because I want to work to better the lives of women in my community. In fact, I've created charities over the years. I still get involved in charities that are all about raising up women of abandoned communities, because I know that by empowering women, we improve the lives of every single person that they touch. I'm working towards currently some plans to bring this back into my business as I grow so we can make more impact. So it's not that I'm not passionate, ferociously passionate about women. So why do I feel my stomach churn more than ever as we approach yet another International Women's Day? Because it feels, quite frankly, like Groundhog Day. Here we go again. Another International Women's Day, another flood of pink cupcakes, of corporate panels, of pushing away and responding to email after email of, can you speak? Brilliant. We have no budget. Can you speak for free? No. And hundreds of LinkedIn posts about celebrating women. Brilliant, as we should. And yet, outside of the hashtags and the feel-good marketing campaigns, real power imbalances continue to exist. Women are still underpaid. Women are still unsafe in their own homes, their workplaces, and public spaces. Women's rights are still being debated, controlled, and stripped away in parts of the world. And this International Women's Day theme of March Forward for all women and girls is a stark reminder that if we want real change, we have to go beyond the slogans. We've got to think about what true empowerment actually means, because it's not about handing women a seat at the table. It's about burning down the damn table and rebuilding it in a way that serves everyone. That's right, everyone. So what does real action look like? And how do I think that we can actually make sure it's not just today, but it's every day? I think, first of all, this slogan of advancing women's and girls' rights, absolutely. Women's rights are not a privilege. They are a fundamental necessity. Yet across the world, women and girls are still facing systemic violence, discrimination, and exploitation. From wage gaps to reproductive rights, from sexual violence to child marriage, there is no justice until every single woman and girl has control over her life and her choices and her body. So what can we do? I think we have to work harder at calling out injustice when we see it, whether it's a sexist joke in a meeting or a major policy issue. The reality is silence, our silence, equals complicity. Vote for policies and leaders who prioritize women's rights, because systemic change doesn't happen by accident. We've got to protect the most vulnerable: Indigenous women, women of color, LGBTQI women, disabled women, and women in marginalized communities who are facing even greater challenges. Fighting for women's rights means fighting for all women, not just the ones that look like us. Protection also doesn't mean infantilizing. These are women who deserve to have their voices heard. And by making space for them, we allow them to empower themselves. And through doing that, they empower people around them. And this is how we create lasting change. I think, secondly, we absolutely have to promote gender equality. True gender equality isn't about empowerment branches. It's about power redistribution. It means dismantling those patriarchal structures that continue to exist. If a system benefits from keeping women small and profiting off women's free labor, it has to go. Holding businesses accountable. If a company is celebrating International Women's Day, but it hasn't paid its female speakers or it has a gender pay gap, call it out and amplify women's voices, especially those on the margins. Women with privilege. I have to use my platform to uplift others, not just themselves. And finally, we've got to foster empowerment. If we want women and girls to thrive, we need to stop waiting for permission and start creating opportunities. All of us ask for the money. Stop undervaluing our worth. Demand pay that reflects your skills and impact. It's time to take up space and stand in your spotlight. Stop apologizing for being in the room. Stop shrinking. You deserve to be in every single room where women's decisions and where decisions overall are made. Your voice matters. You matter. Invest in women, hire women, mentor women, fund women-led businesses, buy from women-owned brands. It's time to lead unapologetically as amazing women and also as amazing men that want to drive change. It's time to stop playing small because the world needs more of us. It needs more women in leadership, as thought leaders, as decision makers. Progress isn't made in a single day. And whilst I love the fact that International Women's Day switches the lens and focuses in on women and girls, progress isn't made in a single day. It's made in the choices we make every single day to push forward, to demand better, and to refuse to accept a world where women and girls are treated as second-class citizens. So this International Women's Day, absolutely celebrate. Please do, yes. But let's also do the work. Let's hold each other up, not just when it's easy, not just when there's a day to do it, not just when there are cupcakes involved or lunches involved or amazing, beautiful bottles of wine involved. Let's do it every single day. Let's hold each other up, not just when it's easy, not just when there are cupcakes involved, there's free lunches involved, there's beautiful wine involved, not just on International Women's Day, but every damn day. Let's choose connection and curiosity over the division that is so drastically trying to take away the power that those in control are so scared of us stepping into. Because I can feel the fire inside the women in my world, inside the women in my life. I can feel the power amongst the females in my client base. I can feel it amongst my daughter, her friends, their friends, my nieces. I can see it inside of you too. It's time to set the world ablaze and to create something that benefits not just some, but benefits everyone. And why everyone? Because I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 2 beautiful boys. I'm a mom of an incredible daughter. And I'm also married to one of the biggest advocates for my work in this world. And I know that we need to work to a better future together. It's never about someone being better than anyone else. It is about equality in its purest form. And all of us need to take action together if we're going to achieve this, if we're going to achieve change, if we're going to achieve true equality.